A defensive player must be able to position themselves to take away an outside shot by an offensive player without screening the goalie. Players should be in a closed stance and overplaying the offensive player's stick, which means standing between their stick and the net, at the same time closing the gap on the shooter as best as possible. Closing the gap is when the defender rushes out at a ball carrier, applying aggressive pressure in order to prevent them from having time and space to execute a high percentage shot, usually off of a swing pass or a skip pass. The defender must close or shorten the gap space between themself and their check with speed, while still arriving in control with their stick up and not overcommitting. At the very least, defenders should strive to get their stick on the stick of the shooter. Even better is closing the gap and not allowing them to get the shot off at all. For the closing the gap drill, start with lines of left-handed and right-handed players in the shooter positions on their proper floor sides. Each player in line should have a ball, with a same-handed defender standing between the shooter and the net, with their hips facing the boards.
This is a perfect time for what we call a screen shot, where I use you as a screen, shoot around you, goalie can't see it, this is great. As a defender, what we want, play a little bit higher. Usually we have our hips facing the boards, is what we always teach, and my stick is up like this. So take your shot. I'm gonna just try to knock it down like that. I'm out, you go in, this side goes. So now the goalie is not screened. I'm gonna try to shoot right through your stick. You might get a stick on it. And this is a shot that we expect the goalie to be able to save. So this is how I want the defenders to look here. You were kind of trying to get out of my way to get your shot off. This is for the defender. So I want you to try to get it like through my stick somehow with your shot. So everyone in line needs a ball. You got a ball? Can I get one person playing defense? Okay, good, step in.
In variation number 1, the player in the shooter position on one side of the floor should try to get a shot on net while the defender, standing a stick length away, attempts to block the shot, which is variation number 1A. After the shot, the defender who just finished the drill runs to the back of the line, and the offensive player that just shot is now on defense, waiting for the players on the other side of the drill to take their turn. Another option, instead of switching defenders each time, is to have each player attempt to shot block every player in their line, which is variation number 1B, until all players have had a turn on defense, therefore providing more repetition time for skill refinement. In variation number 2, the defender has to actually close the gap before attempting to block the shot. Play starts when the coach blows their whistle, at which point the player in the shooter position on one side of the floor should try to get a shot on net, while the defender, who starts at the pylon in the proverbial help position in the middle of the defense, closes the gap, side shuffling with their stick up, attempting to block the shot. Coaches may also choose to have players use tennis balls at first, if young defenders are reluctant to stand in the shooting lane. The golden rule is not to get used as a screen, meaning don't get shot around or keep the ball in front of you. After the shot, the defender who just finished the drill runs to the back of the line, and the offensive player that just shot is now on defense, waiting for players on the other side to take their turn before they go. In variation number 3, the shooter to shooter pass, intermediate players can progress to a pass from shooter to shooter, which is variation number 3A, or the midboards to the point position, variation number 3B. In both cases using the same protocols as previously described, except play starts when the ball is first passed instead of on the coach's whistle. The offensive player receiving the pass has the option to take the shot or to fake the shot and go to the net, which turns into a one-on-one defensive situation where they have 5 seconds max to get off a shot. For these variations, each rep shouldn't start until there's eye contact from the goalie, who should be square to the passer to start, and stepping across, squaring up with the shooter after the pass. For more advanced players, variation number 4 is the defender breakout variation, where if the goalie gets control of the rebound, the player on defense should try to sprint past the offender looking for a breakaway pass, button hook back for a short pass from the goalie, or scoop the rebound if it's there and try to clear past the offensive player in the open floor, as seen in this diagram. The player on offense follows their shot looking for a rebound, otherwise applies pressure on the defender and/or sprints out of the drill by defending against a breakaway or an outlet pass from the goalie. If there is no rebound, or when the play is deemed to be over by the coach, the opposite shooter should be ready to shoot, anticipating the whistle or the pass. At the end of the day, the most common error is not getting one's stick and/or body in the shooting lane. Players need to learn how to stand in the shooting lanes, knowing that they'll occasionally get hit by the ball, in order to deter a player from shooting. Blocking shots is an element of team toughness that is often underappreciated but very important to a successful team defense, which will be discussed further in more advanced defense and offensive drills. There's no excuse for at least getting stick-on-stick contact on a shot, which is a sound that coaches love to hear. As I always used to say to my boy Dean Hill, RIP, gap control baby.